watching UMAMI.
Alright, what's up everyone? So, I'm working on Safe Mode Episode 2, but I need a break from that because I'm kind of got like a creative block. So, I just thought of this idea yesterday, and I'm gonna make a new bonus video. Yeah, Safe Mode Episode 2 might be another, like, 2 months because I'm going away for a bit, and I want to put something out before I leave, you know. I don't want to rush Safe Mode, just rush it before, you know. So I'm going to put something out before then that I can do in probably a week, which is Jerry Seinfeld expanding. There's not really much more to it, just that he expands. Anyway. Alright, so first thing I need to do is, obviously, his face is not quite prepped for the expansion, so I use this other image of Jerry Seinfeld that has kind of a quality to it that makes me internally kind of smile a little bit. But I'm going to start with this one because this is before he expands, and he's sitting at the restaurant drinking coffee, and then he expands into a full, what would later be known as the full Jerry. So first thing I should do is probably just trace the outline of like the bench and stuff, and some of these ketchup bottles, so I have some stuff to work with. Like when he expands these ketchup bottles, I think I might animate them falling over and stuff. So maybe I'll just start with the ketchup bottles for now. It's yeah. You know, I don't really know why this stuff makes me laugh, but like kind of like jokey humor isn't really what I'm good at doing. But just the thought of Jerry Seinfeld expanding, like horizontally and vertically, and then the Z-axis all at once, gave me some. I just thought it was funny, so. So when I'm like, 70 years old and looking back on the stuff I've spent my life doing, be like, okay, I made Interface, made Jerry Seinfeld expanding. I think I can rest peacefully. Okay, mustard. There's the mustard bottle. Mustard bottle is drawn. Probably put it on a layer separate from the ketchup bottle. Oh, yeah, so I got some news about the vinyls, by the way. The blue vinyls, which have arrived. I have them with me right now. Except they arrived without the posters. The posters that are supposed to be inside the blue vinyl casings. So I was going to ship them out last weekend, but again, I don't know. I'm kind of at my wit's end with this manufacturing plant. There's so many fuck ups they did. So with in terms of delays and but you know, once they told me that they're anyway, I don't want to get into it too much, but very soon the posters will be arriving. I will be putting the posters in the boxes and shipping out the blue vinyls. The cerebral electricity ones are gonna, like I explained before, have been delayed even further. But it doesn't look good for me, honestly. You know, I feel like I put out these pre-orders and they've just taken forever. It's out of my control, really, you know. All I know is that when the vinyls do arrive, they are very high quality. I've tested them. I look at the casings; they're really well made. And I send my vinyls out in like really high quality packaging now too for shipping, so that they won't arrive like with dings or anything like that. So, and there will be worldwide tracking everywhere, including like Russia and stuff, which actually costs me more money than I make when I have to ship it. When I ship things up to like Australia and Russia, it's like $100, and that's obviously more than whatever profit I'm supposed to be making off the vinyls, but it doesn't matter. I just want to get this stuff out there for you guys at a reasonable cost, you know. All right, so I got here a ketchup bottle. Let's see, ketchup bottle. Now I got to draw a mustard bottle. Could just duplicate that, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna redraw. Do a ketchup bottle. Finally watched Michael Mann's Thief. I can totally see the inspiration in McMillan. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's like the whole. That movie is so good. I like it so much. I feel like it's a really underrated movie. Like, when people talk about the classic movies, I mean, some people talk about Thief, but it doesn't really come up very often, you know? Thief is a good one. It's got a lot of it's just one of my... I like that movie a lot. Space Cadet. Yeah, man, they have been... yeah, the vinyl production plants have been hit with the pandemic, but also with unprecedented demand. So it was kind of a 2-for-1. However, there was also a little bit of miscommunication or mismanagement when they did make my vinyls, because apparently they can't find the posters, so they have to remake them again this week. So that, to me, that just means there's a bit of disorganization or of some sort, but what can you do, you know? Things happen, I guess. It's not a big deal. It's just it's a delay, that's all. Alright, back to ketchup bottle. Alright, so there's a ketchup bottle. I already drew the outside of the restaurant, but I don't really know if I want to show you guys, because, you know, it's like when you watch my animations, it kind of wants to feel fresh. You don't want to see something I already drew, you know? I gotta put some of these like kind of shorter, more comical animations out once in a while, because for a few reasons they're easier to make, and they often tend to do better than my like long form stuff. So, you know, I have to do a mixture of the two things, otherwise I'll just like, for instance, this animation is only going to be like 2 shots, I think. Maybe 3. Okay. Ketchup bottle. Mustard bottle. And now there's like a napkin dispenser back there. Once I get this stuff drawn, I'll move on to the more fun stuff, which is the expansion of Jerry. Okay. Exactly, Guy Roach. Manhunter is another good Michael Mann one. Yeah, there's this one thing about that movie I really can't watch physically is when in Manhunter by Michael Mann, he's in the van and he's watching this girl that he was dating go out with some other guy, and so he starts like tearing up the leather interior of his car, but he does it by like pressurizing all his fingers in one direction where it just kind of, can't really explain it, but it really kind of freaks me out in a weird way. Kind of like nails on a chalkboard, sort of thing. That one scene, I'm just like, I can't, you know. But the rest of the movie is almost perfect. There's a couple scenes that I feel like could have been cut out, or they feel a little bit out of place, or like the cinematography isn't particularly good. There's one shot. Okay, first of all, the movie is amazing, but there's one shot that kind of throws me a bit, or one scene, and it's the one where they're in an apartment, and the cops are like kind of getting in a heated argument with one another. And there's nothing inherently wrong with the argument. It's just the scene and the way it's shot just feels like it kind of looks like a film set. Like if you look at the window in the background, it really, really looks like a film set, and it kind of takes me out of it. I think they might have just kind of thrown that scene together real quick. But whatever. There's a montage where they're on an airplane, and he's like falls asleep, and he's looking at all the gruesome photos from the murder he has to try to solve, and that scene is amazing. I think that's one of my all-time favorite scenes in any movie. That whole sequence where the music comes in and stuff. Hey, Gia. Thank you for the super chat, Gia. You mustard to catch up. Something my brothers and I said as it's. It just made me think of it. Thank you again for the super chat. You know what? There's one thing I say in French a lot is moutard plutard, which is mustard later. Like if you're eating a meal, but you kind of want to have like mustard on the side of your, but you want to eat it later. It's really stupid. It just kind of rhymes. I thought it was funny. Je voudrais la moutarde plus tard. Just say it with a straight face. You go to a restaurant and say that. Okay, napkin box. Let me just see here. I say it to Caroline all the time. Moutarde, plutard. Okay, napkin box, ketchup, mustard. Now there's one more thing here I have to draw, which is the menu that's on his table. All these things are kind of on separate layers, just because in case I need to separate them when I'm animating them later, it would make it a little bit easier. I'm not even sure if I need to or want to animate them. I just for now I just keeps things a bit more organized. I don't know if someone asked before, but can we download the brushes you use? So I don't like. I just use the circle brush for most of my stuff, like with the pencil tool. But I have been using some new brushes now, such as this kind of stuff. It just it makes things a little bit easier for me. And I forget what the website was that I bought them off of. I forget. But just like Google like halftone brushes for Photoshop or whatever. They're not very expensive. I think I paid like $30, and they're pretty useful. You want to make like a comic book kind of look. Some of the brushes I make myself. Like this is actually a pattern. Oh my god. Nah, the only thing expanding is my friggin' brush, and it like freezes the computer. Okay, so like there's this one I made myself, right? But then there's other brushes. Like some of these halftone ones. Oh yeah, True Grit. They're called True Grit. I bought some True Grit brushes. So you can get like halftone textures and stuff. It looks kind of cool. So the True Grit, look that up on Google. You can find that. Moonpad user. I love your work. Your work is the first thing I myself recognized. Hey, as a Moonpad user, thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate that a lot. And thank you for the super chat as well. Would you ever make a comic book series? Probably not, man. It's just not my... I don't have, like, I can't do that kind of... It's too much work. You know? I would don't, like, for instance, it would need to be at least, like, 12 pages or something. I'm just thinking about the amount of... I can't release, like, a comic book. I guess I could, page by page. But, it's not really my specialty. Okay. Once I get these bottles drawn, things will move a little bit faster. So I should label these things. Okay. Now, table. How is Photoshop for animating? It's kind of shit, to be honest. But I just like how simple things are, so that's why I use it, you know? I'm not really a fan of complicating things. I just want to draw things and frame by frame, and you can do that pretty well with Photoshop, so. Okay, I'm getting there. Now I can, I think I can draw, let's just draw Jerry's body, perhaps. Joel Flanagan, your Mischief plushie has the exact same headphones, eh? Yeah, these are the ones I use. They're Audio Technica M50X, which I find them to be pretty good headphones for the most part, you know. I mean, I don't really have a lot of experience using different headphones, but they sound pretty good to me. Hey, thanks, Gia. Michael King, do you have any suggestions for where to start good resources on learning animation? Really, honestly, the best thing you can do is just look up on YouTube. There's a ton of tutorials, and there's a lot of different programs you can use. There's Toon Boom, there's Blender, Grease Pencil, there's Photoshop animation like I'm doing, there's After Effects, there's Adobe Animate. You have to figure out if you want to do rasterized based animations like Photoshop, which is what I'm doing, or vectorized based, which is vectors are like Flash, basically. You can, if you scale them up, you don't get like jaggedy pixelated edges and stuff, so it's really hard for me to recommend which software to use, because I don't think, like, Photoshop is not an industry standard for animating. Neither is Blender, to be honest with you. If you want to learn something to do as a career in the future, you should probably learn Toon Boom, I think it's called. I think that's the one that like Rick and Morty uses, and a lot of Adult Swim programs are made with Toon Boom, I think. But everything you need to learn, whatever program it is on YouTube. You can find tons of tutorials, so honestly, I wouldn't even recommend going to like a university to learn animation, because whatever they're going to teach you is probably a couple years out of date. And YouTube right now is the ultimate place to learn things. If I ever have a problem with anything that I'm doing, I just look it up on YouTube, a YouTube tutorial. There's someone else out there has figured it out. But you should, whatever you do, like I say to everyone that's trying to get an animation, is to start small, you know? Don't start a big web series right away. What you should really do is try to make some 10-second animations. Make like 5-10-second animations just to get the grips of what you're doing, you know? And just keep doing it until you get better, really. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Christian Kramer, M50X headphones have a flat sound signature, great for music production. Yeah, that's kind of what I I wasn't sure how flat they were, but I thought they were kind of flat, and you don't want anything that has too much enhanced bass or anything like I think like Beats by Dre are not very good for mixing because they like enhance the bass and stuff, or I don't really know. I haven't really used Beats by Dre, but also I don't want to get like a pair of studio headphones that are super expensive either, because most people aren't really going to be listening to the music on super expensive headphones. So if it sounds good with the kind of mid-range flat headphones, then it should sound good for most people. That's how I think about it. I also try to listen to my music on like different setups, like we have television speakers that are a little bit more boomy, and when I was making Interface, I would preview all of the sound mixes on the television. Well, in the later episodes. When I first started Interface, I wasn't really doing the best job at mixing because some of the voices were hard to hear and stuff. But let me get rid of the table here. But what you like, there can often be a lot of bass that you're not even aware of unless you are looking at the audio frequency response, or you have a good pair of headphones and you can really headphones. But I also have studio monitors too. I have a JBL. I don't know what they're called. JBL Mark II monitors for audio, and technically they're supposed to be raised up higher. Like, I don't know if you can see them right now. There's one over there with Mischief on it. They're supposed to be like ear level, but I haven't really. I have to like buy stands for them and stuff, and the room that I'm working in is also not like treated for audio, so it's actually not so bad where they're setting right now, but I used to have my desk a little bit closer to the wall, and it was a big problem. I would hear like this kind of boomy reverberance kind of sound to everything, and anyway, I try to split the difference between my headphones and the speakers, and now basically when I get this stuff mastered, I send it to a mastering engineer who has an actual treated space, so if he has to make any EQ adjustments, he'll do it in there, but I can get like 95% of the way there without having to worry too much. At least that's what I think. Some of my earlier music was not mixed very well, I can say that for sure, so hopefully my more recent stuff is sounding a little bit more accurate to how it should sound. Yeah, Dovish, if you're looking for like tutorials and you're trying to figure out which are good tutorials or not, you can, because YouTube got rid of the dislike button. It's like impossible to find if anything's just a waste of time now. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But you can, if you have Firefox at least, there's a plugin called Bring Back YouTube Dislikes, whatever, and you can install it so you can still see the dislikes for now. Because all that YouTube did is it just disabled it in their like style sheet. They didn't really like actually get rid of them, so you can still see that information. Okay, we're getting to the fun part soon. I'm just drawing Jerry's body right now. Okay, so let me just fill in his body with some purple. You might look into some open backs that can be below you. Google Chrome. Oh yeah, no, I was actually thinking about that, some open back headphones, but do you need like a special amplifier to use open back headphones? I thought that you did, because right now I just have a just use a Motu M4 audio interface, and I don't know if you need anything fancier than that, but it's open backs. I guess I should research that. I don't really know. Apparently, open backs are even better for mixing, but I never tried them. Okay. So we have Jerry Seinfeld. Let me put these things in a folder. Call it table. Notes. We have Jerry's table. Let's see. Doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you need an amp. Depends on the headphones and their impedance. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really the best at technically. I had a teacher in university who would talk about like ohms and impedance and stuff, and that was one of the things I kind of didn't really fully understand. Did understand like the sample rate and bit rates and overhead and like mixing and stuff, but the technical parts of like playing things back with like headphones is not something I'm very good at. Sennheiser makes open backs that have built-in amplifiers, but if you want higher fidelity headphones, it's good to have an external amplifier. To clear up the YouTube dislike button, they still had dislikes data, but they just didn't display it on their website. But then they stopped taking the data. Oh, so they don't even take the data for dislikes anymore. What's my favorite short animation that I made? The short ones, probably the Sonic the Hedgehog one, just because I just like how it looks when he goes through the fence at the end. It kind of has this cool like retro, like it's obviously that I duplicated some of the lines, to like when he goes through the fence, but it's like intentionally designed that way to look duplicated. Like I just think it looks like in the 80s, they would have these games where well, for instance, the snake animation I made where I duplicated all the chains of the snake. I mean, I could have made a more realistic looking snake, but the fact that it is duplicated is what I like about it. It kind of has this kind of pattern look to it. Crummy Brinkle Jr., thank you for that. If you don't use them in a noisy environment, no reason to use open backs, really. Yeah, I mean, my apartment's pretty much silent. and if I really want it to be extra quiet, I just close the door. But it's so much better than my last apartment. My last apartment was a fucking nightmare. It was so close to the street, and all you'd hear is like dump trucks the whole time, especially in the summer when the windows are open. And then there was this woman that lived across the street that would like yell at her dog, and it was so friggin' annoying. So I don't have that issue anymore, really. So I have him here sitting. I might have him like drinking some tea too. So let's just draw a little teacup in his hand. And the table should have the sauce or whatever it is. Okay. Studio Don B, thank you for that comment there. Jacob Ford, funeral for a pixel. Thank you, Jacob, for the super chat. Sorry if I missed it earlier. I have to turn my speakers on or something so I can hear when this happens. Okay. Let's continue. Alright, let's work on Jerry's face now. I like his expression in this image more than this one. So I'm going to be using this expression. Christian Kramer, when you write music, do you adhere more to modes or loosely invented chord progressions? I've been trying to understand elements of your composition style and some of my own work. Usually I stick to modes. There's sometimes I'll kind of improvise without doing but oftentimes I find that I'm not very good at mixing and matching modes like some people are. I have a few favorites. I like C Phrygian. I like E minor. Well, I think it's like the same thing, isn't it? It's like the same keys at the end of the day. There's a few modes on my synth that I've been using now which are microtonal. I don't really exactly know how that works, other than you just kind of select it and it transposes the keys to a microtonal thing. Like there's like Greek aeolic, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know how you pronounce these things either. There's like there's all these different modes, and I just usually select them. Like I'm not really classically trained with playing the piano, so I can't really. This stuff is above my head, you know. I just kind of mess around on the keyboard until it sounds right. So that's how it is for me, you know. I really. This is the kind of smile you make after you've made like $100 million. So I'm gonna draw it now. I like how Jerry made like so much money off of Seinfeld, and then like 10 years later he makes B movie, and then that's it. And the B movie is like the weirdest movie I've ever seen. It's such a strange movie. I thought it was going to be like a kind of like a cheesy like DreamWorks movie, which I think it was DreamWorks, right? Maybe, I can't remember. But I thought it would have been like on par with I don't know, Shark Tale or something. But B movie is like a really bizarre kids movie. I'm not even know if it's a kids movie. It's kids movie because it's safe, but it's like it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's just strange humor, and it's weird because it's coming from Jerry Seinfeld. Like it's not like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is a funny kids movie that I enjoyed it. Like I thought it was, but it was like pretty typical, like well-written Pixar movie or whatever it was. I can't remember if it was Pixar. It was DreamWorks probably, right? But then B movie is kind of like, I don't know if it's well-written, but it's still funny because it's like funny because of how just flat out weird everything is, and off. Everything's kind of got this like offness to it, which just makes it funny. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it because it's different, you know. B movie was his style of comedy. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it kind of is. It's just weird seeing Jerry Seinfeld's style of comedy transposed to 3D animation. I don't even know if it's gonna look like Jerry when I'm finished, because I mean, I'm tracing his face, but I'm not gonna draw him wearing the glasses because I don't think he wore glasses in Seinfeld. Have you seen the cut Queen Bean character from... Hey, Sweeney! Sweeneezy, what's going on, man? I was... The first thing I thought of was like, oh, wait a second. Sweeneezy's gonna see this and be like, well, UMAMI's drawing Jerry Seinfeld, and I was kind of thinking I shouldn't really draw Jerry Seinfeld. That's Sweeneezy's sort of thing, right? But, I don't know, I just wanted to draw him expanding. There's something about him, like, just getting large and filling up a room with his face just kind of made me... I couldn't, like, stop laughing when I was thinking about it last night, so there's either something wrong with me or... have you seen the Queen Bee character from Bee Movie? She tries to bang Jerry. So if it's cut, I didn't see it then because I didn't realize there was, like, cut scenes, but... Well, I thought the part in the actual movie where Jerry as a bee is trying to bang like a human woman was kind of weird. So I guess if this is the reverse of... Oh no, wait, he would have been a bee, and the queen bee would have been a bee as well. So that would have been more normal than what actually happens in the real movie. No, but I should look... I'm going to look those up later, because that sounds pretty funny. Jacob Ford, friend of mine, was a handler for Seinfeld in Texas when he visited for a tour and offered him a soda suicide at the theater concession stand, and Jerry didn't know what that was, even when explained. I don't know what a soda suicide is. You gotta explain what that is. I have no idea what that is. Now Jerry Seinfeld's making a Netflix Pop-Tart movie. I'll have to watch that. All right, he kind of looks like you're saying, he kind of looks like Gilbert Godfrey, but I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because I just have to draw the hair in. He really looks like he has really big hair. This doesn't really look like Jerry Seinfeld, even though I'm tracing his face. Let's just see what happens when I might have to make some adjustments after the fact. I mean, he already looks expanded. He looks like more expanded from his regular self. So maybe this should be like an in-between frame. Maybe I should start with the actual drawing of Jerry, and then he becomes the actual photo of him rather than this funnier version of his face. Yeah, I'll do that, because right now it ain't right, you know. There. Okay, so let's add the timeline now. Oh shit. Hold on. This is annoying. I always have to change the frame rate here. If I start animating stuff without changing the frame rate first, it's annoying to fix. So it's one of the things with Photoshop. Okay. Table items, I can disable that for now. Got his outline of his body. Table. Delete them and delete this layer. Okay, so now I'm just gonna draw him like regular Jerry. He will become expanded. Okay. The thing with drawing with pixels like this is I find it similar to painting because you kind of have to give it an impressionistic look when you're drawing. Like you can't be too accurate with how you fill things in. Otherwise it will start looking weird. Like for instance, his eyes already look kind of weird. What I might just do is I might just make this his eye. Just because he's kind of like, if you put too much detail on with the pixels, it really looks kind of off in like a bad way, you know? I'm not going to have his mouth open. I think I'll just kind of draw it like... He does have a kind of a larger bottom lip though, doesn't he, I think. Yeah, I think. Deva, I fight. I wanted to thank you for your creativity. Please tell me which program is better to start drawing in the pixel art genre. So if you're getting into pixel art, you're going to want a raster-based software, which means non-vectorized. So Photoshop, you can do it pretty easily. But Photoshop's kind of expensive, so... If you're just looking to do pixel art, not necessarily pixel animation, then you could probably try, I mean, even like Paint would be good, MS Paint, or GIMP, which is like a free version of Photoshop. Or I think you could use, there's another program called Affinity Designer. And I think there's a like pixel mode. You can draw things like in the pixel mode. I've done that before. It works pretty well, I think. Though, you know, if you can afford it, Photoshop I think might be the best. It's been around the longest. It's got a lot of plugins and stuff. However, Affinity Designer is like a one-time fee, and it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay a subscription, and honestly, Photoshop is in Adobe in general is so overpriced, but I justify paying for it because, you know, I use it every single day, pretty much, and it's where you know, I have to. I use it for that reason. But if you're looking for something cheaper, I would check out Affinity Designer. Paint.net, maybe it might be a good one. Affinity Designer nicely shows how vectors will rasterize, but not great for drawing pixels. I think there's like an actual mode though, like there's a brush that's like just for pixels. But I think you're right though, it's not exactly designed for doing rasterized imagery, so maybe it's not the best option. There's also Procreate. I don't know if Procreate is also how that works. It's basically, I think it's like competitor to Photoshop or something. Or okay, so I got Jerry, frame 1, frame 2. It's already kind of funny. But that's too much of a jump. I need like a frame in between. And maybe I'll make it kind of like a smear. Legacy version of Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, you can use a legacy version of Photoshop too. I use a lot of like the, I use After Effects and Premiere and stuff though, so I don't know if... Oh, and also, well, on Windows the legacy version might work, but I know with Mac, I think there's like a PowerPC chip that they stopped supporting or something, so pretty much anything before CS6 won't work on a modern Macintosh computer. Which is kind of why it's been taking me so long to make Blu-rays of Interface, is because there's no... I can't seem to find software to author Blu-rays that's not crap. Adobe Encore used to be pretty good and very highly customizable. So I tried Roxio Blu-ray burner. It's a bunch of bullshit. I had to get refunded for that. They don't support subtitles. So that's no good because a lot of people watch Interface with the subtitles on. Because Mischief is kind of hard to hear sometimes. But also there's people in like Russia and Brazil and stuff, different places, and yeah, I'm trying to get like Interface on Blu-rays and VHS tapes right now. Oh man, it's not so simple, honestly. The VHS tapes, I had to like make sure the colors would look right on the, you know, nothing gets crushed, no blacks are crushed. And it has to be stretched out a certain dimension. I already had tapes sent to me that were made incorrectly. I had to send them back. The aspect ratio was wrong. There's just... legacy media is not easy to deal with when it's no longer the mainstream thing to do. So... there's too much detail in this area here, I think. But let me just add some more. Just give me a second. Okay. You can still make VHS tapes. Apparently there's a few companies out there. Few companies that don't really have any sense of quality control, in my opinion. So that's why they're taking so long. But, you know, anything that I sell has to be perfect. I'm not going to be selling shit that's like wrong aspect ratio and stuff. That's why it's taken so long. This whole month has just been like frustrating dealing with manufacturing companies, and then we're on top of that, we got like supply chain issues, and then there's like protests in Canada, and there's like roads being blocked and shit, and like fucking... yeah. Past year has not been exactly easy to get things made, that's for sure. Okay. Jerry. You make his mouth kind of like get a little bit bigger here. Wonder how Don did it for World of Tomorrow. Ask him. He just shipped out Blu-rays for his animations. That's a good question. Yeah, I maybe I'll see what they says. Personally, I'm not being tormented by any of the protests, and I don't live in Ottawa. You know, I do feel for the residents of Ottawa a little bit, that they're probably fed up with it. However, there's a lot of just lying in general by the government and the media in Canada, painting these protesters as like neo-Nazis or whatever, which is 100% false. And you know, so when that kind of stuff happens, when there's just blatant lying by the Prime Minister, I gotta say, like, it's like, who am I supposed to support here? Because I definitely don't support the lying Prime Minister, that's for sure. I think on the first day of the protests here in Canada, there's a few people that showed up. Two people showed up with one showed up with a Nazi flag, and the other one showed up with a Confederate flag. And the Confederate flag, at least, the guy was completely covered. You couldn't see his face. Didn't know who he was, where he came from. But I do know that he got lots of photos taken of him by the media and then disappeared within an hour. So we don't really know who that person was. And ever since then, even though there's been thousands of protesters, peacefully protesting in the city of Ottawa, they've been forever painted as Nazi sympathizers, which is completely untrue. So, whose side am I on? I'm definitely not on the media side that's lying to Canadians every day, that's for sure. The blockades, though, going to the U.S. border and stuff, that's just another whole situation there. But, you know, okay, so I got his mouth there. Didn't really expand enough. So I'm gonna do another one where it's even wider. But he's not really expanding enough. So, I mean, that's kind of like a start. I don't really know how he's going to expand. I just thought he would expand. I would leave it to Miles, you're talking a whole lot of fucking bullshit right now, And I really would appreciate it if you don't hijack the chat to bring politics into my stuff, because I really try to keep politics out of it. I can tell you one thing for sure, though. I don't trust any journalists in Canada at all. I don't trust any of the media here, CBC News, CTV. None of them are trustworthy. Canada is pretty much a fucking. It just runs on misinformation in both directions, and the news here in Canada is like you can't. I have actually no respect for most journalists here based on how they've handled the whole situation. all you have to do is look at the live streams. There was live streams all over YouTube. You could have watched them for the past 2 weeks. And I've been watching them. I didn't watch them that much, but there was 22,000 people, 30,000 people watching these live streams. I didn't see anything that resembled any sort of violence, or I seen a lot of honking. I'm sure that was quite annoying for people who lived in Ottawa. It's not a great situation, I gotta say, but this whole kind of like political mudslinging is something that really needs to stop, because neither side is really Nazis, really. It's so stupid. Like, we're talking about something that happened 80 years ago, like it's relevant today in Ottawa of all places. But I should probably stop, because I really shouldn't get into politics. What's poppin', Jimbo? Aesthetic Capybara. Hey, thanks, man. Oh, how you doing? Okay, let's see here. To get him even more expanded, we need to kind of redraw his face. So I'm going to get rid of the background photo here. There's a lot of problems in Canada that we are dealing with right now. We've got incredible inflation, housing prices that have gone through the roof. It's basically unaffordable to buy a home anymore. We have a surgery backlog. So COVID has caused this unprecedented backlog in the health industry here. So people who are expecting to have surgeries, and some people who are expecting to have them for like cancer-related reasons, had their surgeries pushed back. We have, the government's trying to push internet censorship bills right now, like Bill C-10, when they should be focusing on our crumbling healthcare industry here in Canada, or trying to deal with the inflation that has, the price of food has gone up 20% in the past year, or the homelessness issue that's become a lot worse since the pandemic happened. But these are all issues that no one's really talking about in the government right now. They're talking about a couple blocks in Ottawa, and they're losing their minds, and they're enacting emergency orders to freeze their bank accounts and stuff, when we have real issues in Canada that need to be dealt with. And it's frustrating to see that weeks will go by and none of the actual problems will be resolved, and they may never will be, because people are so into the rhetorical, the rhetoric that's being put out by the media right now. It basically it makes them feel, it distracts them from the real issues that we have in Canada. And that's the problem. That's really what the issue is here. The surgery backlog, that's a major one. If anyone had any problems that needed to be fixed, now they're on a waiting list. It could be a couple of years, could be added to their list. when the pandemic started in Canada, I remember reading that they weren't exactly treating it very seriously. And there was a lot of money being put into idiotic resources. Like, you can look this one up, but there was some guy that made a puppet show to teach people who live up north about COVID safety. And I think he got something like $500,000 for that. So much money that could have been put into hospitals here, or expanding the resources in the hospital system. Justin Trudeau animation when I don't think I'm ever gonna do that, man. It's not that I I don't feel like I want to. It's just too, I don't like it when I watch politics in comedy. There's so much of that shit out there already. I just it's not funny to me, so I won't be doing that stuff. Jerry Seinfeld expanding though, that's a different story. Honestly, I feel like politics is what's kind of ruined shows like Saturday Night Live, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, where's this just the funny stuff that's just funny for its own sake of being funny, That's the stuff that brings people together, really. Speaking of funny movies, have you guys ever seen MacGruber? With Will Forte, or I don't know if his name is Will Forte, but it's So anyways, I was watching this movie MacGruber because that guy's made some videos with Tim and Eric before, right? And I wasn't expecting it to be, and I didn't really know what to expect when I was watching it, but man, that was a unexpectedly hilarious movie. So if you guys are looking for something funny to watch, I would recommend watching MacGruber. It's kind of like, okay, so if you ever seen Forting with Will, like look up Fortin with Will on YouTube, and so imagine that character, but it's like MacGyver. That's basically all I'm going to say about that. Aesthetic capybara, political topics great. Okay, just went off the scale. Yeah, I know, man. Thank you for the super chat. And Lucky Naya, hey, thank you for that as well. Wish you well. Wish all. It's the same in Russia about housing, and we lost the right to protest like 3 years ago. Hey, Lucky Naya, what do you think? What's the situation with Ukraine and stuff? Do you think it's just a big bluff? Okay, there we go. Okay, he's kind of, he's beginning his expansion, but it's not quite enough. So I mean, when are we really gonna ramp up the expansion here? It's gonna happen now, I think. I'll keep his eyes small, though. Christian C, I'm just using Photoshop. Let's go even further here. Louis Ricio. Hey, Carolina. Any advice on productivity when taking on projects? You always seem consistent. Productivity is you have to force yourself to do something, even if you're not feeling like doing it. That's how I feel about it. If you're waiting for a moment of inspiration to come so that you manage to get a lot of work done, it does happen from time to time, but I'd say for me, 80% of the time I am I feel like I don't really want to do anything creative wise, but you have to treat it like any sort of, like, I treat it like a job. Like, you know, if I was to do something more, if I was painting a wall, whatever, you know, I don't really, you kind of have to, hold on a second, you got to force yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's animating or making music and stuff. There's going to be times where you feel like you don't want to do it. You kind of have to push through it. And as long as you get a little bit of something done per day or every 2 days, whatever, it's just something small. At least you're progressing, then you've made progress, you know. Hold on here. I think I missed someone donated something. Hey, Sensormi D, sorry for missing that. I don't know when that happened, but thank you for the super chat, and that's generous of you. Gaping grandmas. Okay.
Gaping grandmas? Hello.
Jacob Ford, what's your mix of private client work versus UMAMI art merch? I haven't really done any client work since the beginning of the pandemic. So we used to do some videos and stuff for some people, but they put an end to that because of
oh jeez.
Because of the pandemic. They didn't want to, you know, shoot videos in their offices and stuff. So I just haven't really been doing any client work at all. And I, honestly, I probably won't get back into it because I've just been focused so much on my UMAMI stuff. There's a few clients that we have that are like kind of like our friends. So you know, if they wanted to shoot some stuff, we would do it again. But it's not really something I do anymore.
Still your gum.
I mean, the kind of client work I used to do before animation was like going to a cardboard tube factory and filming a like a forklift safety video, and then having them not pay me after 6 months, and then almost threatening to sue them, and then or them suing me. It's just that's the kind of crap I have to deal with.
No, they were threatening you to punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember now. Lucky Naya, about Ukraine, it's USA making news and paying even YouTubers to say like Russia is invading. It's a lie. It's the same scheme again and again. Lucky Naya, I don't know. I have no friggin' clue what's going on over there, you know, so I'm not even gonna say. And I feel like that's the problem with the thing with YouTube now and on, you know, especially YouTube. It's like all these like YouTubers that these like you shouldn't take my opinion, okay, to inform your own opinions. For one, you know, I'm ranting sometimes on my live streams, okay, I realize that, but there's other YouTubers out there that's all they do. They just fucking rant about opinions and they read bullshit in the news and they make these big fucking grand schemes. They make it their whole personality, and I don't get it. Why do people follow these people? Like, what are they? They're not experts in all. They're just people like me on YouTube talking bullshit. And people they eat it up.
Because once you put a camera in front of someone, they become an authority.
That's exactly the problem. Yeah.
It's psychological.
Listen.
You could be literally Joe Schmo in your underwear, and you will become an authority on something if you have a camera in front of you on YouTube.
Yeah. I think that's one of the issues we have nowadays too. All right, bye, Carolina. Hey, I wonder if thank you, Lucky Knife, for that. There's like 6 million commentator channels nowadays. Yeah, man. It's honestly, it's difficult for me to not talk about this shit because, like, you know, it's affecting everyone. And I think about this stuff a lot every day. I even incorporate it in some of my artwork on a kind of less in-your-face kind of way. Most people don't even realize it. I think the real issue is there's just too much connectivity with people online. Our lives have kind of transformed into this like online sort of deal. We're spending too much time on the internet when you know, when you're interacting with people face to face and you're dealing with things in real life, you tend to sympathize more with them than when you're on the internet and you kind of got just a username or some video or something to Scare Bears, thank you for that comment. You know, the only good thing about all the stuff that's happening now is, well, at least for now, is with this connectivity and stuff. There is more video evidence of situations that are happening around the world, which 50 years ago, if there was some sort of war issue happening, it probably would have happened without anyone realizing. Now there can at least be trace evidence of stuff happening because everyone's got a cell phone in their pocket that can upload photos to the internet immediately. The issue now that we're having is that as the 3D software becomes better and we kind of like neural networks are able to like transpose people's faces and make them talk and say things like that, it's going to be harder to actually discern whether or not a video is like a real video or if it's some sort of manufactured video. And it's getting kind of hard to discern that stuff now, but just wait 20 years, wait 50 years, and video will almost be like something you can't really take for. You can't just be like, oh, that definitely happened because I have it here on video. I feel like we're kind of in that transition right now where you can still tell if things are fake. The deep fakes kind of have tells in them and stuff. But if the technology keeps progressing at the rate it has been progressing, it's going to be increasingly difficult to be able to tell. Even sometimes now when I'm watching stuff, the first, like, it will take me a while, but the first, like, at least I will believe, like, a 3D video is a real thing for a little bit, at least. So there was a channel that made those, like, Boston Dynamics robots do things that they weren't. They basically made a parody of the Boston Dynamics robots, and I think because the robot isn't a human, and it's like something that's made out of materials and stuff, it's easier for it to come across as realistic. Like it gets over the uncanny valley a lot easier, because it already kind of. We're able to recognize human faces because that's all we've done for millennia, right? But when it comes to inanimate objects like robots, we're not as good as detecting whether or not something is fake or not. Okay, I think I have to start drawing his body expanding as well. Doesn't really need to be super well drawn because you're only going to see these frames for a 15th of a second. If anything, it probably makes it worse that it's too detailed because it's just trying to like emulate motion blur and stuff. Whew. This is gonna get harder than it. It's harder than it. A lot of frames here. Let's see. I'm gonna start moving some of the mustard and relish and stuff. So. Right. Just give me a sec here. Okay. So I got the menu falling over. Oh, hold on. I gotta go get some water. I'll be right back. Hey, John Eden, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, menu falling over. There we go. So that means these bottles need to fall over too eventually. So let's move on to the mustard for now. I feel like at this point, that's probably when it's gonna start coming towards the camera. So maybe I'll topple it towards the camera. Kind of like shrunk. That's not right. I gotta redraw that. If anything, it should be getting bigger because it's coming towards the camera. That's better, I think. It's a little thick now, I guess. Appreciate a good squeeze bottle of relish. I always have problems with those squeeze relish bottles, like the relish doesn't want to come out and you squeeze it and like it shoots out like in a big chunk. Okay, why can't I? Oh my god. Okay. Bison, Billiam, what's going on? Not much, man. Just trying to draw Jerry expanding here. Okay, I think my mustard. Yeah, just bring it over a bit. All right. Have you guys seen you know Pilot Red Sun? Obviously, well, a lot of you probably do. He's made these the Grinch's Ultimatum video. But did you guys realize that there's like a lot of people recreating that video right now? There's like just look up on YouTube Steamed Ultimatum, and you'll find there's like I don't know, maybe like a dozen of people who have recreated the Grinch's Ultimatum in different themes, and they're all made within the past couple months. I recently added Steamed Ultimatum to my YouTube Gold playlist because I was not expecting it to be so like what's the word, faithful. It's like faithful to the original Pilot Red Sun animation. It's really funny. So if you're looking for something if you are a fan of Pilot Red Sun, you should check that out because a lot of people are making that video into a meme right now. Okay, there's my mustard. Maybe I can make this happen a little bit after. Yeah, like that. Because a little bit to the side, so now. Now I have to do the same thing to the ketchup. And, well, technically the ketchup, it should happen to the ketchup first because the ketchup's in front of it, so... I'll have it fall more to the right. Every few months I come back and watch the Hard Ride at Saratoga video. If you guys are looking for more of his stuff, he's been releasing a lot of music on YouTube under Pilot Red Sky as his music name, so because he hasn't really made an animation in a long time, but he's made a lot of music. And there's a lot of people I've been meaning to, I want to collaborate with, but you know, it's just, it's tough, man, because you know, I find it hard enough to get my own animations finished, you know? There is some sort of collab I'm working on someone with right now, but it probably won't come out for a year, so. And there's a few other people I want to collaborate with, voice-wise. I just haven't been able to. I never have the right moment, like, to use their voice. Like, I'm not gonna just shoehorn someone into a character, you know? Like, it has to be the right part. Okay, so there's my SketchUp frame 1. This is a little bit more detailed than I usually do when I animate, but I feel like it's necessary to get a couple of these boggles in the foreground to move away, just so it doesn't feel so stiff. It seems like it's a little too high though, to be like this. Okay. Have you guys been keeping up with what's going on with SpaceX? They're working on this like super heavy right now, whatever, or I forget what it's called, Starship. And it's got 29 engines on the bottom of it. It really looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. It's just this massive cylinder. And supposedly they're supposed to be doing some tests soon. Not flying, I guess, but on the launch pad or whatever. I was watching some other YouTube videos about it, and usually when they have like a rocket, they have like a kind of like curved concrete surface that diverts the flames away from the launch pad. But with this rocket that they're building, it's basically on a pedestal, and they're just going to blast the shit out of the concrete below it because it's got some sort of protective material on top. And when that rocket lands, supposedly it's designed to be catched. Like there's going to be like a big thing that comes out and like grabs it. Like if the SpaceX rockets were not already crazy enough, they're going to have like something catching these rockets. I just thought it was cool, that's all. If anyone's into that stuff. There we go. Okay, now I need to draw the so we got this, and then the last thing is a napkin dispenser, I think. It can keep sliding, but I think eventually it needs to, like, maybe at this point it needs to like topple over or something. Okay, so this frame. Ooh, see the edge of the napkin dispenser kind of falling over here. Because the angle of the thing has changed, there might be like a reflection that gets caught in the top of the metal there, and I could probably start having the reflection show up in this frame. Frame will be pretty simple, I think. What did you think of Ethereal Snake's new video? So if you haven't seen it yet, look up Ethereal Snake's Jesus video, whatever. I thought that, well, first of all, animation-wise, Ethereal Snake has he's improved so much in this last video, I mean, the last Mickey Mouse video he made was a huge step too. But I feel like the latest one he did was just, I don't know, the different ways that he was able to animate the mouth of Jesus, and the character design, and the way, you know, when Joel Haver's saying, I want you to say it louder but slower, and then you have the Jesus guy saying it out even louder and slower but with more exaggerated facial expressions, I thought was like exceptional. Like, it was really, really good. But then I also thought, like, concept wise, it's just a really clever idea, you know? And it's something I would have never have done or thought about, because I'm not really a religious person. I don't really, but, you know, I sort of understand the story there, where the Last Supper, and, you know, Jesus was betrayed and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not like I don't know I don't really know the story that well, right? So I'm assuming that Ethereal Snake has probably a better background knowledge when it comes to Christianity or Catholicism or whatever it is. So concept-wise, it was a fantastic idea. Animation-wise, it was also like really well done. And the voice acting wise, the Minute Hour and Joel Haver both did like exceptional jobs. So what can I say other than it was fucking great? You know, I mean, I really I loved it. I thought that it was a really good video, and I think it's probably going to be a classic video, because it's just, everything about it was so on point. And it'll probably get a couple million views, I think, in just a matter of weeks. So we'll see. It's really, really well done. So that's what I think about that video. Okay, there's my my napkins falling over. Okay, there. So now pretty much everything has fallen off the table. Have you ever talked to him? Yeah, man. Actually, I've met Ethereal Snake in person, because he was coming to Quebec for some reason, and I said, let's get a drink, and so we did. There's a bar in our neighborhood, so super nice guy, and really it was a lot of fun. So hope to do that again sometime. All right, there's my tabletop condiments falling off the table, and I can go back to Jerry Seinfeld.
I just want to say something to everyone that I see that is standing around and crying.
Baby Pyramid, thank you.
To cry about. This is something we should all rejoice about. We should be happy about this. They always told us that we should cry when you're coming into this world. But when we're living as people, I think we should be happy about this. And he never even had a chance to enjoy his death here. And I want to say one thing. The heaven is so clear.
Are you Canadian? Is it true that they have milk in bags? You know, when I was growing up, you would see milk in bags. I don't really see milk in bags anymore. I mean, I'm in Quebec now. I don't know if it's like a non-Quebec thing, but we used to have milk in bags. My neighbor used to buy milk in bags, because they would have like a little, you would basically buy it in a bag, and then you put it in like this plastic sort of dispenser thing. Growing up though, we always bought cartoned milk, so I don't really have a, it's weird, man. Just having a weird bag of milk is just strange. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for like, people debating and stuff, but maybe you guys should like, I don't know, debate on a non like on Discord or something. I mean, I don't want to like shut down conversation, but it's the stuff you guys are talking about. It's a little bit controversial, more so than the random shit I talk about. So I don't know. It's just, I don't like moderate my chat at all. So I'm sorry if there's like random shit going on in there. But maybe you guys should bring that conversation somewhere else. I don't know. Before I get like shadow banned from having like certain keywords on my chat. Anyways, I gotta go use the bathroom. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Stuff right there. Okay, well, I guess, the issue here is he's expanding out vertically, horizontally, I guess. But he also needs to come towards the camera. Doesn't seem very volumetric. So I guess his mouth would be getting larger and also larger in the like it's coming towards the camera, so not just wider, you know? I'm gonna put some white out there. Now it's easier to see. Mame, do you start with writing or the drawing? Well, usually I start with the music, and then once I have the music, I start with the drawing. And then once I have some frames, I kind of figure out what the story is going to be. So it's pretty much backwards from any other what you're supposed to be doing. A lot of people start with storyboards and scripts and stuff, or scripts and then storyboards. I don't work that way, so that's just how it is. I think that's what kind of makes the music feel integrated into my animations, is because I start out with the music oftentimes. But this one, for instance, this Jerry expanding is not. I'm not going to make music for it. It's going to be the soundtrack to his show. You know, like the bass keyboard sound. So. Sensormy D. I just had pizza. You should order it and devour some on camera. Well, thank you for the super chat. It's very kind of you. I might order some pizza later. I don't know, or I might make some chicken that's in the fridge. But I don't really like eating on camera. It's just kind of weird. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys that eats on camera. That'd be nasty, man. Like, that stuff's that's. I mean, I did that during my finale to Interface. I was like I did like a pre-show thing, and I felt weird about it. So, all right. So now his ears are getting quite large. I feel like he should start getting really detailed too. I mean. He's kind of turning into like a goblin. Let's see here. Okay, the back of his hair should be like... Oh yeah, and his... Yeah, trust me, I don't want to do mukbang, man. That's... I don't know, man. What's up with that? I don't know, man. There's some stuff on YouTube. It ain't right. Let me tell you that. Okay, Jerry... You know, I gotta figure out a way to send this to Jerry Seinfeld when he's finished. When I'm finished. Does he have like a Twitter account or something? Like, maybe we could just tweet it at him. Be like, hey, Jerry, do you have thoughts on this? Just the thoughts with a question mark. Just send it to him. teacup remains the same size because it's not the teacup that expands, it's Jerry. Why is Jerry expanding? What sparked this? That's what makes it funny, in my opinion. There's no reason for it. He just expands. That's all there is to it. And, okay. Oh, his left arm is expanding a little too quickly. Let's not get too crazy here, everyone. His fingers. Eyebrows are missing. That's weird. Okay, it's not the teacup that expands, it's Jerry, little kid in the Matrix. Ah, yeah, that's probably something that the kid would say. If someone were to make an absurdist version of the Matrix. It's not Jerry Seinfeld that bends. It's your mind that makes it bend. I want him to expand so much. I do too, man. That's why I'm drawing him. I really want to see him expand. Okay. Next frame, he's going to be quite... His mouth will be... Maybe I'll move it over just a bit. And, Okay, his eyes, maybe at this point, maybe his eyes can get a little bit puffier. Ezra, birthday was yesterday, so here's some money. Hearty emoji. Hey, Ezra, I appreciate the super chat, and happy birthday to you as well. And I think I might have missed someone else as well. Oh no, I got Sensarmi D. Okay, thank you, Ezra. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Happy birthday. Must go do stuff. Of course, man. Hey, Robert, thanks for hanging out, and see you next time, perhaps. Okay, that's kind of a big jump, but it's kind of funny that way. Aren't even really starting to look like some sort of, let's see here, you know, like that character from Spirited Away, the grandmother. Doesn't look like her, but it's got the same like proportions almost. Rule 0, gotta hop off, take a shower, Mammy. Hey man, yeah, take care, man. Okay. Let's see here, chin time. Yes. So, this is where, his hand starts getting difficult to decipher exactly where it begins and ends. Wait, you pronounce it UMAMI? I don't really know how to pronounce it, man. Umamwi? I don't know, man. I just say however it comes out. Oh yeah, see those condiments falling over really kind of add to the to help sell the fact that he's really expanding. So now the next frame will be even more ridiculous. Let me just start with his mouth. Okay. Kind of comes over the. This gets funnier as it gets bigger. UMAMI, do you know the name Darkwood? Sorry, man, I haven't heard of it, or I'm not sure of what it is. is going to be tricky to color in. I'm going to have to spend another day just doing the coloring, I think. Um, what song's playing right now? That would be The Abyss. You can see in the bottom right, you can find that music on Bandcamp or Spotify. Darkwood is a survival-ish horror game from the top-down perspective that deals with forest and has a lot of wacky things. Gameplays-wise, not the biggest fan, but atmosphere is pretty cool. Okay, cool, man. Top-down perspective, though, that's tough for me to get into now. I played Grand Theft Auto 2 back in the day, but that was like, I can't really get into those kind of games for some reason. I don't find them to be easy for me to get into. But I'm sure it probably is good if I were to get over that, you know. Oh man, he's really expanding. Okay. So at this point, no, the condiments on the table probably should fall off before he gets this big. That should be an easy fix. Because right now he's really so maybe I'll fix that now because they're falling up way too late. Well, yeah, they're like too slow because he's expanding faster than. Yeah, that's a little bit better, I think. This is okay. Maybe I could probably. There's like one too many frames of something here, so I have to. Where the hell is that? Okay. Delete this frame. Yeah. Okay, I think I'll draw like another frame now. Well, I have to, I guess. I don't really know. You wouldn't really see the curvature of his mouth too much at this point. That's too low, I think. really glad I can share this with you guys today. His shoulder here. Assignment spaghetti. By chance, will there be any leftover blue records available to buy? Well, I didn't sell them all. I had a, the factory makes a couple on reserve. Like they make like about 20 extras, and I also hold about 20 or so in case the initial orders get lost in the mail or something happens to them or whatever. So if you're interested in, I can't put them out for sale yet. But there might be some more blue ones, but they won't be available until probably the end of April, when I receive the rest of the vinyl orders from the factory and I have all the posters and stuff. So I would wait until then and then check the Bandcamp. Unfortunately, there's no way for you to kind of like pre-order them because I don't want to have every single one accounted for in terms of sales, because like I said, there could be some that get lost or whatever, and then people who pre-ordered earlier wouldn't receive it. So I would wait until the end of April. Once I make some announcements that all the shipments are going out, then I will probably update the availability of the blue ones. And usually I post when I make an announcement on the vinyls. I put it on the community page and Twitter and the Discord. So you should be, if you subscribe to either one of those things, you'll probably see the announcement. So I think that's all the frames I'm going to do for this shot, because otherwise, like, you're just going to see his nose, and I need to, that's already quite a lot of frames for me to color in and stuff. So I feel like some of these, I can move that down a bit. Move this down a bit too, I think. I might just get rid of. And the menu here, I might have it start moving earlier. And same with the napkins. And mustard. So let's. Oh, that's gonna be tough. But, I have a lot of work to do on this shot. I think I'm gonna call it quits for today. I got a lot of work done, and tomorrow I'll probably do this off live stream. I'll just color them in and try to finish the shot. And I also have to draw the background in, which is pretty simple, just blurry bar shot, whatever it is. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. Okay. Listen, everyone, I do appreciate all the support and the comments and stuff, and I apologize for getting a little too political today. You know, I try to keep that shit out of my stuff, but honestly, the situation in Canada is just it's upsetting to see how divisive everything has become. I'm really hoping that once this corona wave shit goes away, people can just kind of go back to normal a bit, and you know, at the end of the day, everyone wants to improve the situation that we're in, and hopefully that as Canadians, they can all go on the same page again. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. So that's it. Hope things get a little bit better, and yeah, I'll talk to you all next time. Bye-bye for now.
You're watching UMAMI.